Do you think time moves forward? But what if it's a lie? Scientists have proven the past, present, and future already exist simultaneously. Here's why. The illusion of time. Do past, present, and future really exist simultaneously? Time is one of the deepest and most mysterious concepts that has ever fascinated humanity. It seems to us that it moves linearly from past to present and then to future. However, physics and philosophy suggest that this may be just an illusion of our perception. Perhaps the past, present, and future exist simultaneously, but our minds are designed to perceive them sequentially. But what does this mean? Could time be just our subjective experience and not an objective reality? To figure it out, let's look at several scientific theories that challenge our familiar picture of the world. Newton's absolute time versus Einstein's relativity. Historically, in Isaac Newton's classical mechanics, time was considered an absolute quantity. According to his views, time flows equally for everyone, regardless of circumstances. It is like an invisible canvas on which the events of the universe unfold. But at the beginning of the 20th century, Albert Einstein presented his theory of relativity, which turned our ideas about time upside down. It turned out that it is not the same for all observers. Its flow depends on the speed of movement and gravity. For example, if one person remains on Earth and another goes on a spaceship moving at near light speed, then for the astronaut, time will slow down compared to the one who remains on the planet. If he returns in a few years, according to his perception, dozens or even hundreds of years may have passed on Earth. This observation leads to an important conclusion. The present is not a universal concept. Each observer has his own now, depending on his movement and gravitational environment. And if this is so, then is it possible that our past and future already exist, and we simply perceive them one by one? Block universe. Is our destiny predetermined? One of the most interesting concepts that comes out of the theory of relativity is the block universe hypothesis. It states that the past, present, and future already exist simultaneously as a single four-dimensional object. Imagine a book that describes the entire history of the universe from beginning to end. When you read page after page, it doesn't mean that the previous chapters have disappeared and the future ones don't exist yet. They exist, you just haven't reached them yet. According to this theory, our life is like a journey through this book. We perceive certain moments as now, but the entire path is already predetermined. This view of reality raises many questions. If the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously, does that mean we have no free will? Can consciousness move through these blocks of time, or are we doomed to follow a predetermined path? How can we explain that we still make decisions and experience choice? Quantum uncertainty. Is there a chance to change the future? The block universe theory seems pretty rigid. There is no room for chance or free choice. However, quantum mechanics offers an alternative view of the nature of time. At the microscopic level, elementary particles behave in strange ways. For example, if we observe the position of an electron, it is instantly determined at a specific point. Before that, it existed as a probability cloud, where it could be in several places at once. This effect is known as quantum uncertainty. It tells us that events at a fundamental level can be random, meaning that the future is not strictly predetermined. But how does this affect the macro world we live in? Is it possible that at a certain level the future is indeed fixed, but individual moments can still be changed? These questions remain unanswered, but research continues. And if quantum mechanics really allows many options to exist simultaneously, does this mean that parallel timelines exist? In the second part, we will consider the hypothesis of the many worlds interpretation, the paradoxes of time travel, and figure out whether there is a way to bypass the limitations of time perception. Many worlds interpretation and time travel paradoxes. Many worlds interpretation. Are alternate realities possible? One of the boldest ideas in quantum mechanics is Hugh Everett's many worlds interpretation. It suggests that every event creates new realities that branch out like the branches of a tree. For example, if you are faced with a choice between going to work or staying home, both versions of the event exist simultaneously in the universe. In one you go to work, in the other you stay home. These alternative lines exist independently, and you never learn about the other version of yourself. If we apply this theory to the concept of time, we can assume that the past, present, and future are not fixed points, but an infinite number of possible developments. Perhaps our minds are simply limited to one of these lines, but in the larger picture of the universe, everything happens at once. Time travel. Is it possible? If the past and future exist simultaneously, is it possible to somehow travel between them? Modern science does not yet know the answer, but here are a few theories. Wormholes. According to the general theory of relativity, space-time tunnels connecting different points in time may exist. In theory, if you create or find such a wormhole, you can instantly get into the past or the future. Now, time loops. Some solutions to Einstein's equations allow for so-called closed time curves. This means that under certain conditions, a particle or a person can move along a closed trajectory in time, returning to the past. Novikov's self-consistency hypothesis. If time travel is possible, then the past is already fixed and the traveler will not be able to change it. For example, if you go back in time and try to prevent an event, it turns out that it was your actions that led to its occurrence. Does time actually exist? After all that has been said, it becomes clear that time is something much more complex than we think. Perhaps it does not move at all, but simply exists as part of the overall structure of the universe. But if the past and future are already determined, do we have freedom of choice? Or is our destiny already written and we are just experiencing it step by step? These questions remain a mystery for now, but one thing is for sure. The deeper we delve into the nature of time, the more we realize that reality is more complex than we thought. Perhaps time is just another illusion created by our minds. If you liked the video, like it, and subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content.